Welcome back. We succeeded in creating and adding the retrofit to our application. Now let's move to the next step, which is displaying the data into the app UI. This app will follow the MVVM architecture, model view, view model. We finished the remote data source section. Now let's move to the repository. And the repository is included inside the model section or layer. So inside this model package, I'll create a new Java class and I'll name it as movie repository. In the MVVM model view view model architectural pattern in Android, a repository is a design pattern that acts as a bridge between the view model, which is the presentation layer, and the data sources, such as a network API or a local database. Its primary purpose is to abstract the data source details and provide a clean API for the view model to fetch and manage data. A repository abstracts the data sources, which could include remote data from a web service like our application, or a local data from a database that we have done in the previous apps using the Room database, or any other data retrieval mechanism. It shields the view model from the complexities of interacting directly with these sources. The repository helps enforce the single source of truth principle, which means that there should be a single place in your app responsible for managing and storing the data. This reduces the risk of inconsistencies or errors that can arise from having multiple resources of data. I need to fetch the data and store it inside an array list of movies. So I'll start with private array list of movie model class. Alt plus enter to import it. And I'll name it as movies equal new array list. And I need to create immutable live data because I'm going to use live data in the view model to fetch the data and display it in the UI. And this mutable live data, it's of type list of movie class. I'll name it as mutable live data equal to new mutable live data. Please refer to the live data lesson in the previous sections to learn more about live data. Live data is used to hold and observe data changes in a lifecycle aware manner within an app in Android. Mutable live data is an extension of live data class, and it adds the ability to modify or set its contained data. So for that, it's called mutable live data, not having the ability to modify. Mutable live data has the ability to add or modify its contained data. Mutable live data ensures that the data changes are observed only when the component is in an active state, started or resumed, helping to prevent memory leaks and UI updates when they are not needed. And unlike the regular live data, which is read only once data is set, mutable live data allows you to modify its stored data through the setValue method and postValue method. Then I need to create a private application instance or a context application in order to use it to get the context, because I need to pass it to the popular movies here in the service API. And because I need to access the resources that I'm going to add here later on. Don't worry, I'll show you guys. Alt plus enter to import application. Now I need to create a constructor only having the application. Again, guys, I am passing and creating this application in order to access the resources folder later on, because I'm going to place the string API here inside the resources tag in the string.xml file. Again, I'll create a public method called getMutableLiveData, and its returning type should be a mutable live data, and this is a getter method for this mutable live data. You can create it using getters and setters or like this, list of movie. Okay, so this method will return this, and it's a getter method for this. I want from you to focus with me because it's a very important method. I'll start with movie API service, movie API service equal to retrofit instance dot get service. In the context of retrofit and Android app development, you often create a retrofit instance and use it to create service instances. These service instances are interfaces that define the API endpoints and their associated HTTP methods, get and post. And in our case, we created and we defined only one get method. You then use these service instances to make API requests. Then I'll start by using the call class again, and I need to pass the result. And we talked about the call in the previous videos. Call, I'll name it as call equal to movie API service dot get popular movies. Alt plus enter to import the class of call. And here I need to get the popular movies. I need to pass the string, the API key. So for that, I'll create a string here and I'll name it API underscore key, and its value, my API key that I stored inside the notepad. I passed the application object here in the constructor in order to use and make access to the string.xml file in the resources folder. So I need to get this, and I recommend to store all the strings here inside the strings.xml. You can skip and omit this application, and you can define here the API. You can use it like this. Here I'll start application.get application context.get string, and here I need to get r.string.api. Alt plus enter to import class R. And you can see I'm accessing string resource file since I used the application and get the application. Again, guys, you can remove this application and pass the API key directly here, but I don't prefer like this.